We need to talk about Randall Adjessum. Randall Adjessum is a 16-year-old young man in Mobile, Alabama. And 16-year-old Randall Adjessum, 5:30 in the morning, you had people that was messing outside of his house. Now, if this is a high-crime neighborhood, are they coming in to rape him, rob him? Are they coming in to, what are they going to do? Rob the place, attack everybody, assault everybody, maybe kill somebody? It's 5:30 in the morning. This is before sunrise. They didn't knock. They rammed through the door. They broke through the windows. You got a whole bunch of predators. You got some sort of disturbance. So Randall Adjessum is just in his bed, sleeping, laying down. He hears some rustling. He hears a disturbance. He hears a bunch of violence. So he grabs the gun that's close to him. He's got a gun in his hand. And then when he sees the people inside the hallway, well, he sees that they're cops. So he had the gun that was out, but when he sees that they're cops, he puts the gun up and he backs away. And as he's backing away, there was the first cop that had tried to shoot. His gun jams. He drops down to the ground because, why not act a damn fool, act over the top, right? Act like you didn't just break into this guy's house. And then he drops down to the ground. The second cop is going to shoot 4 or 5 shots, and then down goes Randall Adjessum. Now, he's going to bleed out for 4 minutes on the ground. I think the way that I understand it was that he was in the second floor. So you have the entire family in the kitchen. You got his mother, you got his grandmother, you got his aunt, you got his 2 sisters. So you got 5 women who was all arrested in the kitchen. They went ahead and shot the 16-year-old young man. Some people say boy. He's underage, so not an adult. Not an adult. And they're in the wrong house, just like with that Doug Harless case in London, Kentucky. They're in the wrong damn house. They were looking for a guy named D'Angelo. Well, Randall is not D'Angelo, and D'Angelo doesn't live with his grandmother. And this all had to do with marijuana, too. D'Angelo was out and about, driving around. He had a gun, he had some marijuana, and then there was a traffic violation. Well, you got to make sure he looks like a damn trafficker, right? So you got to do this pre-done, no-knock warrant, and this raid, this SWAT team raid. They rammed down the front door. They broke the living room windows, roused Randall Adjessum out of bed. Randall is the man of the house. He's the 16-year-old. He did what any American would do. And actually, if you look at the Supreme Court cases of Heller, McDonald, and Bruin, Heller and McDonald says that you have a right to bear arms inside your own house for self-defense, for protection. And then Bruin says you have a right to carry a firearm out in public. So that's the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says the Second Amendment says we Americans have an individual right to bear arms. And specifically in Heller and McDonald, they said that we have a right to a handgun in our bedroom to protect ourselves in our bedroom. And then the Bruin decision says that we have a right to go out and about in public with a firearm. Now, it hasn't been defined how far out in public, where can you do? Can you fire a couple warning shots outside your house? That's what Joe Biden said. He told Jill Biden that if somebody's, disturbing the property, just stick your shotgun out there and fire a couple warning shots. But I think actually you have a right to stand your ground. You got castle law. I think that you could, as long as you holster it, as long as the gun is holstered and you're not just carrying it in your hand, because in the Wild West, when you pull the gun, that's when there is an indication of a threat. But they're going to let him bleed out on the floor. The damn hospital's only 8 minutes away, but they don't get him there until 40 minutes afterwards, and that really tells the tale for me. You're protecting and serving. So you don't want to hurt people, right, Alabama? You're not just a bunch of racist piles of shit going above and beyond over a little bit of weed. That's not what you're doing, right? You care about human traffickers, you care about heroin and crack, and you care about the big stuff, but you're not going to go so fucking crazy with just a little bit of marijuana, and you're not a bunch of racist fucking assholes, and even if race isn't a part of it, thou shalt not murder. Doug Harless was a Caucasian man. So this is happening to Caucasians. They were looking for a guy who stole a weed eater. They go to the wrong house. These cops in Mobile, Alabama went to the wrong house as well. Also heard that there's no court authorization. They went there without a warrant. So they're breaking the Constitution, and they are suing it. So the estate of Randall Adjessum is suing the police, and good. I hope that they get $1 million or $2 million. Really, they should just apologize and, try to pay them $100,000 so they don't have to go through all this shit. But they're not going to do that. There is nothing. What could have Randall Adjessum have done? Just presume that people breaking into his house in the middle of the damn night when it's still dark? Oh, just pretend that they're the good guys. Oh, yeah, they're not Nazis trying to gun people down. They're not just a bunch of... No, that's not a bunch of, Bloods or Crips or MS-13. That's not the Trinde Aragua. Shortly afterwards, the mayor is going to ban pre-dawn no-knock raids. The mayor of Mobile, Alabama. But frankly, I think that Randall Adjessum had a right to blaze away. So did Doug Harless. You're roused awake in the middle of the night. Doug Harless, that had happened before midnight. This happens at 5:30 in the morning, so before dawn. And I hear, I know, I see, I remember, I do, and I understand. They detained the family members on the first floor. The mother isn't even going to find out that Randall Adjessum is dead until she's being questioned at the police station. So thank God for that mother. Thank God that the mother knows some sort of lawyer to file a federal lawsuit, because that's the only reason we know anything about Randall Adjessum. R.I.P. to Randall Adjessum. When you say the name of the dead to the earth, they are still alive. But the police fucked up. They fucked the fuck up. They fucked up big fucking time. And it's fucking bullshit. You're supposed to protect and serve us. You're not supposed to shoot us when we just got out of bed. You're not supposed to... We have a right to privacy. We have a right to our homes, the Third Amendment. There's so many fucking freedoms that they're going to break, unless it's like a big drug kingpin, unless they're doing human trafficking, unless they're a bunch of gun runners. No, he just had a pistol, which he's lawfully and legally allowed to have, and then he was just protecting his family, and then when he saw that there were police, he tried to retreat. He tried to back up. He could have shot. He could have been as vicious and wicked as those who broke in to his house. Those cops, if they don't get charged with homicide or reckless homicide or some sort of manslaughter charge, at the very least, they should be fired. And even less than that, they should be suspended. With pay, without pay. But a lot of times, they don't even get a damn talking to. They don't even get a little slap on the... Literally, you could slap them on the wrist and that would be something. But a lot of times, people just allow people in uniform to just fucking murder anybody, and nobody says a damn thing because, well, shit, what are you supposed to do? I don't even know if a judge or a executive or legislative branch would know what to do if they're in that situation. When they shot and killed Randall Adjessum, or when they shot him and he's bleeding out on the ground, one of the police had asked very callously, very devoid of any humanity, well, what are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with this? This what? This situation? This non-human thing? You're here to protect and serve us. You didn't want to shoot anybody. Somebody got shot. Now render aid, motherfucker. Are you still afraid? I've seen people that'll flip over a body that they shot and fucking handcuff them. When you had Bobby Kennedy that got shot, they said, don't move him. You might have had a bullet that was barely lodged in somewhere and you got your organs that's like just hanging on by a thread. You move them, well then that just snaps the damn lungs, snaps the aorta. You don't want to move the body. You don't want to move the body at all. And then, they try to do some sort of CPR. You don't want to be too rough on them, but you got to, at the very least, put pressure on the wound. So that way he doesn't bleed out all over the damn place. So whether they got a big bloody mess after they arrested all the family and then they found out, well, hell, they didn't do a damn thing. There wasn't any marijuana. They're actually very moral, upstanding, upright, and lawful people. They follow the law. They're good citizens. They vote. They pay their taxes. And they don't go around injuring anybody. Well, now you got to release everybody. And then did you even say sorry? Did you apologize? You know what you fucking did. So why don't you just cop up $100,000 right away? Cop up $100,000. But instead, this had happened November 13th, 2023. So it's been a little over a year that this had happened, but they did get a lawyer. They're filing a federal lawsuit, and thank God that the estate of Randall Adjessum is following up with this. I don't know about Doug Harless. I haven't heard anything about Doug Harless in London, Kentucky. Doug Harless in London, Kentucky, does he have an estate? And if he does, a next of kin, a brother, sister, a mother, a father, a brother, sister, a son, a daughter, a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, somebody who is next of kin. Anybody who is next of kin with Doug Harless should file a federal lawsuit as well. And hell, if you're just a enterprising, up-and-coming entrepreneur, if you're a good lawyer and you just hate injustice, I got a feeling that you probably could just file the damn lawsuit on his behalf and then look for the next of kin, because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. You went to the wrong fucking house. You killed an innocent fucking person. You didn't do your job. That's not protecting and serving. Thou shalt not fucking murder. That's eternal law, motherfuckers. Thou shalt not murder. If you don't understand that, then just reverse the damn tables. You think it'd be all right for Randall Adjessum to bust in your house with 4 other fucking guys with guns, breaking your windows and shit, waking you up in the damn morning, and you're not allowed to defend yourself? You're not allowed to fight back, say nothing, and definitely don't grab your gun? Give me a fucking break. Castle law is there for a reason. You have a right to protect stand your ground says you have a right to protect your person. You got a right to protect your house, protect property. You have a right to defend yourself. You have a right to defend property. You have a right to defend others. And you got a right to defend yourself and your family in your own home. You got a right to defend your own home. Give me a fucking break. Fucking Jesus Christ, Mobile, Alabama. You need to do better, Mobile, Alabama. Do better.